Hello friends, good morning. In this video, I am going to narrate summary of La Bella Demsai Mercy, the poem written by romantic poet John Keats, as everybody knows him. John Keats abandoned his medical profession to become a poet. His imagery is colorful and sensuous, and his word paintings are remarkable. Influenced by Spenser, Shakespeare, and Milton, Keats' poetry blends the romantic with the philosophical. Keats' poems were badly received by critics during his lifetime, but his reputation as a poet grew steadily after his death with the increasing popularity of Romanticism. He is now seen as a key figure of the Romantic movement in English literature. His works have greatly influenced later writers and are still very popular today. La Bella Demsai Mercy is written in the form of a ballad. Like most traditional ballads, it tells its story through dialogue. The first three verses ask a question. The answer contains the story of a knight who met an otherworldly lady. She took him to a strange cave where he had a terrible dream. When he awoke, he could no longer find the beautiful lady nor get back his strength. The poem can hold many possible meanings. The pitiless lady could symbolize disease. She could be poetry, or she could be the cruelty of life itself. The knight could be somebody suffering from incurable disease. He could be a poet who can never become extraordinary. Or he could be a sensitive human being for whom life, though beautiful, is painful to experience. It may also about the dangers of addiction. Thus, despite the beguiling simplicity of its surface narrative, the poem is open to many interpretations. La Bella Demsai Mercy, we can say firstly that is a French phrase meaning the lady without mercy. The poem La Bella Demsai Mercy, written by John Keats, is a conversation in verse between the poet and a knight who fell in love with a lady but she left him. The poem comprises 12 stanzas and has a rhyme scheme ABCB. The first three stanzas comprise the questions raised by the poet to the knight. The stanza 1 of the poem begins with the poet's question to the knight, "Oh, what can ail thee?" The phrase reflects that the knight is in ill or trouble and distress. The poet asks him why he is sad and wandering alone near the lake where no green grass is left and no bird is singing. The season described in the poem is that of winter. In literature, winter symbolizes solitude, sorrow, and grief. This also refers to the fact that the knight at arms is grieved, means he is in sorrow, he is in grief. In second stanza, the poet repeats the same question. He asks the knight at arms why he is tired and miserable in appearance. In this stanza, he refers to the winter season by telling that the squirrel is done with collecting its grains and even the harvest is also done. These two symbols also refer to a time of loneliness, coldness, and grief. In the third stanza, the poet tells the knight at arms that there is a lily on his brow. That is, his face is without color and is pale like a lily. There are sweat and pain in his forehead that depicts that the knight at arms is sick. In the final line, the poet says that the color of the knight at arms' face is fading quickly like that of a withered rose. Till here, the poet is talking and raising questions to the knight at arms. In the following stanza, in the fourth stanza, the knight at arms tells his story and the reason behind his condition. Now, after listening to the questions raised by the poet, the knight at arms answers that he met a beautiful lady in the meadows. She had long hair, white feet, and passionate eyes. She seemed to be a fairy's child. In stanza 5th, after meeting that lady, the knight at arms falls in love with her. As a token of love, he gifts her a garland made up of intertwined flowers for her head, bracelets and fragrant zone, that is, a belt made up of flowers for her waist. The lady also responds to his love by looking at him with affection and making sweet moans. Probably they do love making and also had sex. In this perspective, the fragrant zone may refer to her female parts which the poet loved and kissed. In stanza 6, afterward he takes her along with him on his horse, means with a pacing steed, the word is used in the poem, and the whole day they spend time with each other. The lady also sings songs for the knight at arms that seem to him as the fairy songs that are very melodious. In 7th stanza, the lady then gives him tasty and sweet food to eat, including tasty roots, honey of wild bees, and sweet gum of manna ash. Though he couldn't understand her language, it seems to him that she said, "I love you truly," in her own language. In 8th stanza, the lady then takes him to her elfin grot, which means small and fairy cave. There she weeps loudly, but the knight at arms do not reveal the reason for it. Perhaps it refers to the way of expressing her love. The knight at arms then kisses her wild eyes and shuts them so that she may sleep with him. Here again, her eyes are depicted as wild. Then we come to stanza 9. The lady lulls, or in simple words, sends him to sleep. The knight at arms in the dream sees one of the most terrifying dreams on the hillside. "Ah, oh betide," is an exclamation that expresses knight at arms' grief and fear. Then in stanza 10, the knight at arms see kings, princes, warriors who have turned pale and have a dead-like appearance. All of them warn the knight at arms that La Bella Demsai mercy, that is, beware of that lady because she is without mercy. She is the same lady who has led them the dread fate, means fearful fate. So be careful, knight, from that lady. Then when we come to the stanza 11, seeing their starved and grieved lips which were altogether warning him, the knight at arms, he wakes up at once and finds him alone on the cold hill's side. Then we come to the next stanza. In the final stanza, the knight at arms says that this is the reason why he is wandering all alone along the lake where there is no grass, at a time when there is no bird to sing, in a miserable condition and with a pale face. So this was all about La Bella Demsai Mercy, the poem which conveys the message that love is like a flower, is short-lived. The joy is quite short and suffering is forever. It also reflects how beauty can deceive a person and makes him fail or suffer. Unlike happy insensibility, the poet here does not celebrate the beauty but rather consider it as something which causes grief and suffering. So thank you for silently listening me in this video. So please share, like and subscribe my channel. Thank you. I am Dr. Kuldeep Mohadikar again. Thank you to all the students who will listen in their future all my videos. Thank you.